My guest for the morning, Alex Afenyo-Markin, Member of Parliament for Ifutu and a legal practitioner. He's here in the studio alongside Ni Amasan Namwale, Member of Parliament for La Dade Kotopon, an agronomist, but also a member of the NDC. And thanks for joining me, sir. All right.
You didn't say I'm a member of the MPP.
Okay. You're also a member of the MPP. Yeah. Are you going for the election again? You're running the primaries. Have you picked the forms?
Not yet.
Okay. You didn't seem to have any difficulty. You are in no hurry.
Not at all.
All right. Now let's start our discussions. And 3 months after an inferno raised the Central Medical Stalls, investigations by Joy News is giving the indication that the final report following those investigations by the BNI have still not been completed, and the report is, however, yet also to be submitted to government. And details of the report have also not been made public. Ghana lost its main drugs and medical supplies at the depot to the tune of some $263 million US. Now, we know that that's a concern, but a lot more. We need to have this quickly wrapped up as far as the investigations is concerned, Alex.
Well, I don't want us to put too much pressure on the security agencies. Sometimes the media gets so interested in such matters, they also get compelled in the circumstance to play to the gallery, and they are unable to do their work well. To me, if, as we are being told, certain people deliberately set the place up on fire because of their dubious procurement deals, we have to take our time, give them space to do their work. So I want to urge the BNI, you are the professionals. Yes, don't rush to the press. Get all the facts right. Make sure that you target the ingredient of whatever offense you may likely to charge the perpetrators with. Without the ingredients, no judge can, sit in court and, convict them. You also make the work of the prosecution difficult, because prosecution will definitely rely on the outcome of your investigations. The prosecution cannot conjure magic in a courtroom. So that would be my plea to the BNI, and I would also urge media, give them space to do the work. However, if they decide to play to the gallery, it's up to them. At the end of the day, if you're unable to get any evidence of probative value, bear in mind that the Constitution allows these people who you accuse to have engaged in some acts untoward to have their rights protected by the court. So the issue here is evidence of probative value, evidence that can be relied on in court. Not just any evidence, no speculation, nothing. This is my view.
Well, it's a lot of money, over $263 million US. And we went to IMF for 900 million. And IMF is giving us 300 million a year. So you can see that.
Even the first tranche we got, it's not up to the sum of the loss following that verified.
And I don't believe it's because of any procurement deals, but I believe it's store deals, not procurement. Because the drugs have been procured already, paid for, and it was at the warehouse, the stores of Central Medical Stores, and it got burnt. Maybe some people went and took some, and all sort of things. But as my brothers just said, I believe in thorough investigation. They should take their time. They shouldn't waste much of the time, but they should do their time and do a very good work. And they shouldn't give us populist investigative results, but they should give us the truth, what they think actually happened, so that, as he said, when they are taken to court, the court will be able to prosecute them well, and then those who are culpable might be found culpable. I don't believe in where you want to get a scapegoat at all time. If you don't get anything, you don't get anything. After the investigation, if you don't get anything, you don't get anything. But you do not say that by all means you need to get somebody to be blamed, because after the investigation, I think they should also give us measures that must be put in place, recommendations that must be put in place to make sure that such things do not happen again. Because it is a very, very big loss to the country.
Alex, at what point do we say we also need to have our ministries, departments and agencies being a lot more proactive? Because when the incident happened, we're told that, well, the place had not been secured in many respects or insured. And following that, we have tried to ask the ministry, substantive ministry, and the other ministry whether such institution, quasi facilities they have, relatively for such storages, etc., have also been insured in many respects since the incident, and it seems still to be negative.
You see, Roland, let's take our attention away from the politician. Something goes wrong, you are held responsible. Because you see, sometimes the fear of being perceived to be victimizing somebody cows the minister or whoever is in charge, the political head, from taking action. But if a minister commits an error, all of us will be at his throat. So this morning, I would want to urge that, look, running state institutions, departments and agencies, these are collective responsibilities. It's not the responsibility of one person. However, political leadership must also show the way, must demonstrate commitment. Once you set the benchmark, people will be compelled that, look, this man, there's a yardstick he's going to measure us with. Let us do that which is right. Then you act without fear or favor. But if we continue to treat, people the way we are treating them, if people continue to have this attitude, I will call it unpatriotic attitude, and it's always the case that, oh, if it's an NDC in power, it is only the political leadership that will be blamed. If it is MPP, that would be the case. Then we are in trouble as a country. Because for we, the politicians, we come and go. They serve as the institutional memory. So if the structure is not there, or the structure is weak, or the individuals manning the structure, they don't care. And they would want to do things and hide behind neutrality and hide behind politicians to mess up the system. I can assure you that Ghana will get nowhere. Why is it that a facility like that, you have a departmental head who perhaps has a four-wheel drive, has a saloon car, is in a government bungalow, enjoys, of course, salary, travels, workshop here and there, and all that, could not envisage that I need to request or make a recommendation for a CCTV to be installed, that I need to make a recommendation for an insurance to be done for this facility. Very, very, it's beyond my understanding that somebody will be there, well qualified, and would really not care. It's similar to what happened at ECG, the warehouse, over the meters and all that. So I would want to take this opportunity, like I've said earlier, to urge all of us, as Ghanaians, state property must be protected. And if we all cry that there's nothing in the system, we are suffering and all that, and we don't care about what the state owns or things that the state will rely on to provide social services, obviously, then we don't love our nation.
What steps now should we be seeing the various MMDAs be taking on such facilities that are in their care?
Well, I think they should direct it from the big house to them. That where we have sensitive materials in their warehouses and stores, they must install CCTV. Then they must be compelled, or they must be directed to do insurance for all those goods that they have in their warehouses, so that at least they know that should anything happen, insurance will come in and then bail them out. It is also another thing about our public servants and the civil servants. No, they have the notion that, oh, I cannot be sacked by a minister, but the worst is that I will be transferred from where I am to another place. I think we should change our laws to make sure that when a minister comes and somebody misbehaves in a way, the minister should be able to set up a committee that will recommend the dismissal of that person. You know, to sack somebody from the civil service or the public service, a whole lot of committees will be set up, even going to the office of the head of civil service, public service commission, a whole charge and all those things. I think those bureaucracies must be cut down to make sure that there might be easy access to discipline errant civil servants and public servants.
So you're talking about the code for discipline?
Yeah, the codes, you see, if you read the code, the civil servant or the public servant code, so I would say it's amorphous.
You've been a civil servant?
Yes, I've been a civil servant. It is, you can waver your way through. You know, you can jump your way through, and you can go under your way through. I've read it. You know, and to
so that when you were there, that's what you were doing too?
No. When I read it, you know, when I was about to contest for parliament, I took the civil service regulation, the constitution, and the code of conduct, and I managed to go through everything. Either people were saying, "Oh, a civil servant cannot contest, cannot do politics," but
unless he resigns.
Unless he's resigns. But if you go through all the laws, it is not so.
All right.
You know,
okay. Until you have been in parliament for how many years now? How many terms now? This is your third term?
This is my third term.
All right.